Ah, welcome, beloveds. I just have so much joy in my heart as I look and see you all there. It really is such medicine to me to see you on your path, to see you choosing to take time to connect, to uphold yourself, to uphold one another in the soul field. And we're just welcoming those of you who are joining us in the eternal now. We can feel you here with us. We are a community that sometimes is visible in the Zoom room, and sometimes we're just felt, and we are medicine to one another and our journeys, our support. And so, as I light the candle, I unite us all and bring us into intentional soul level communion. That's what we're doing here. And as you come in, just take a moment to let yourself be fully present in this sacred moment. Feel the breath. Feel the mind softening, the mental field relaxing as you focus on the sensation of breath. And feel that breath going down into the low belly, creating a link between you and our beloved earth. And you can feel the pelvic floor start to tingle alive, opening up, receiving from our beloved earth whatever serves you, whatever is needed. Rejuvenation, grounding, balancing, nourishing. Just intending, recognizing we are energetic elemental beings, and so is our earth. And you can call in from her whatever you're needing. And you don't even have to know what it is. Just say, yes, Mama, let me receive. And as you receive, you can experience the filling. It's like the belly starts to fill with the goodness that you're drawing in, that you're receiving from the earth. And you feel yourself with intention opening the back aspect of the sacral center. And all you have to do is just bring your attention there. And you'll start to feel some tingling or some warming or a little heaviness, and that will open. This is a link, a direct link into the soul field where the soul light can nourish. And so you just say yes to that divine light. To me, it feels like divine mother energy, just pouring into the back of the sacral center. And feel yourself as you're receiving all this goodness with intent, opening the portal to the temple of divine perfection. This place about a foot above the top of your head, where there's an opening that leads to this beautiful golden stream of light, to this exquisite golden temple of light, literally the energy recycling center. And you just allow, it just starts to lift off. You might feel that upward motion. Anything that is not needed, anything you're complete with, anything that's not feeding the fullness of your divine potential, anything that would in any way interfere with your deep receiving and deep presence in the soul field. And as you're allowing that opening, that connecting, We'll speak our opening prayer, and you'll hear Sandy as our sacred temple tender speak our Spanish version. We come with grateful, reverent, and open hearts to drink from the deep well of our eternal nature. As we dive into the soul field together, we are held within a sacred and holy embrace by the source of all love, light, and grace. In this eternal now, we actively invoke our unique pathways to source and the beings of love light that support our divine evolving. We allow our mind, body, spirit to expand into the holy realms where magic and miracles are commonplace. As we minister to ourselves, we minister to one another and our family humanity. We recognize we are one in the holy wholeness. We allow all we do here today to ripple out through our lives as a living witness of divine grace for the benefit of all our relations.
Con corazones abiertos, reverentes y llenos de gratitud, venimos a beber del pozo profundo de nuestra naturaleza eterna. Al sumergirnos junto al campo del alma, somos envueltos en un abrazo sagrado por la fuente de todo amor, luz y gracia divina. En este ahora eterno, invocamos a nuestros caminos hacia el Creador y hacia los seres de amor y luz que apoyen nuestra evolución divina. Permitimos que nuestro cuerpo, alma y espíritu se expandan hacia los reinos sagrados, donde la magia y los milagros ocurren constantemente. A medida que nos amamos a nosotros mismos, así amamos al prójimo y a la familia humana, reconociendo que somos uno en la realidad total y sagrada. Permitimos que todo se haga aquí y hoy, repercute en nuestras vidas como un testimonio vivo y gracia divina para el beneficio de todos.
Thank you, Sandy. There's something so extraordinary about receiving that prayer and letting it move through us. Today would be the start of a new series. We completed our series on the filament last soul field, and there's this sense of the filament continuing to be with us, and also almost like a little bit of a pause. And so today in the pause, really what's coming through is for some deep, deep nourishment and to really saturate ourselves in meditation, in receptivity of the grace that's here for us. There are a few things that are coming through for that, and primarily it's through the gemstones. When I tune in to ask, what are we to do? What are we bringing? Like I said, there was a little pause, and I just heard go to the gems. And when we go to the gems, we are really calling on the crystalline nature of life and the particular frequencies of those crystalline beings that are here. I mean, first of all, many people don't know this, but we are largely crystalline in nature. We don't look like rocks, but we are crystalline. Everything in our body forms in these crystalline structures. Even water is crystalline in nature, and you can see those crystalline structures show up under microscope, etc. So when we're working with the crystalline beings, we're working structurally in the subtle body. So we're structuring our energy body in order to find greater balance, greater harmony, greater resource, etc. So that's going to be the majority of what we do today. But before we dive in, those of you who are here live got a chance to share a little bit if you came a little early, um, what you're bringing with you, what you're desiring. And I want to invite those of you who are in the eternal now or who joined us just sort of as we began to just take a moment, just notice where are you desiring support in your body, in your mind, in your spirit, in your emotions, in your outer world. Just kind of get a sense of where is there some need or where is there some desire for upliftment, for spiritual sort of infusion and that support that we are going to invoke through the crystalline beings and through the sacred geometric light emanations. So just feel yourself with intention, opening those parts of your life to what's here today. And then if you'd like, you're welcome to type in the chat anything that you're bringing. And then also we're going to today have a little space for Q&A. Initially, I thought it would be at the beginning, but I think what is coming through right now is to have it be after. So to go through our meditation, go through that infusion and the receiving of the grace that's here, and then open it for questions either about whatever came through or what your experience was in the meditation itself, or just questions that you have about what's happening in your spiritual life and in your walk that might want some extra nourishment, some extra support. So before we kind of dive, I'm going to bring up, I want you to see the gemstone. It's just a group of gems that are in a necklace. These gems, this clear stone is white beryl. These, I'm seeing it's looking a little fuzzy. I'm trying to get it. There we go. These lighter blue are aquamarine chips. Then next to that, we've got sapphire and indigo. And these gems work in multiple ways. I'm going to lift it up outside of the bowl now because I'm going to be starting to bring it into the field. These gems work in multiple ways, but they're synergistically together. This is a gemstone necklace from Gemisphere. It's called Star Aqua. Star Aqua. And it's like a wash. It washes over us, the brain and the nervous system particularly. And it's sort of like this waterfall type energy that comes in. And so as we meditate at some point, I'm going to put this on the crown. And I say the crown because I all have our own, and then there's the crown of the field, and I'm going to put it on the crown of the field. And you'll start to feel and sense this sort of cleansing coming in. And I might speak to some nuances as that's happening, but I wanted you to kind of get a little visual connection with these exquisite stones. Um, and then you'll also know a little bit what we're bringing. So I'd like to invite you to find a very comfortable place for your body. In that positioning, let the spine have support. So it could be sitting or lying. Let the spine have support. Yeah, people are saying they already feel it because, yes, the gems are here. um, as you come into that place, you'll just drop back in. We sort of started to drop in just a little bit to breath and earth and the field of soul. And you'll just feel yourself dropping back in there. And as you come in, really feel yourself anchoring in at the back of the sacral center. This is sort of below the belly button, but on the back. And as you anchor in there, just very intentional opening to soul light, to the soul field. And feel the breath dropping you down into the pelvic floor. And I feel in the pelvic floor today a little bouncing, like the energy is a little agitated. It's subtle, but it's there. And so we're going to just sit here for a minute and feel yourself really coming with your breath to the whole pelvic floor, to the root center. And we're going to actually feel gravity there. So you could feel heaviness at the root, could feel the gravity there. And see if you can surrender into it, like you simply let the whole pelvic floor be pulled. And it's like you're getting pulled down into the belly of the earth. And you let yourself go down and in into the richness of earth, to the place where cellular nourishment is felt, it's tangible. You might feel or sense what it is to be down inside the earth. Maybe there's a perfect little crystalline cave for you, or you're snuggled into this beautiful, rich soil. Or maybe you've dropped deeper even, and you're resting on some big, beautiful rocks that are wet. You just let yourself drop deeper and deeper into your connection with the earth. And you remember that your body and her body are inextricably woven, maybe not even distinguishable. You are part of her body. And you can feel as you open into that, the front aspect of the sacral center starts to come alive. And you can feel the lowest part of the belly along the front side waking up. And letting your heart really rest into this earth goodness. The heart feels a little bouncy today as well. So we call it to feel the gravity. We call it to come and rest in this beautiful, perfect resting place that you found inside the beloved body of Earth. And you welcome the heart into that wide, slow, deep, vibrant nourishment place. And it's almost like you can feel the energy start to slide off the shoulders and the front of the chest. The heaviness just starts to fall, and you let gravity take it. And you begin to allow the base of the skull, the energy center there, the well of dreams. You allow this part to really plug in. It's like this part of your spiritual anatomy catches a whiff of what's going on, and it's like, I want that too. And it just starts to drop and open. So good. It feels so nourishing. And you can feel it not just at the base of the skull, but through the neck. Little by little, there's an unwinding and a releasing of the tension that's been in the neck. And you may even want to give the head just a little gentle, very slow movement. And maybe not. You'll just feel what your biospiritual system is wanting. And that unwinding continues. You can feel it not just in the upper and mid neck, but now into the lower neck where it starts to connect in to the top of the back. It's like these little tingles as the spine is waking up and catching the drift of the nourishment, and it's going down into the earth. Tensions falling through the mid back now, all the way down to the very tip of the tailbone. And you can feel that tailbone so profoundly plugged into earth. As the yawns come, you welcome them. Little by little, the nervous system is resetting, remembering. And you are feeling the communion with the earth, your body and hers, in a sacred, subtle energy dance. And there's awareness, a tingling perhaps. There's awareness coming at the crown. And there's an opening there, linking you to the filament of light, that can never be broken, that extends infinitely into the very source of light, connecting you to your eternal life wisdom. And as you become aware of that filament, your presence and your breath amplifies that sacred link. And you begin to feel an influx of sacred light, sacred wisdom. And into this goodness we'll bring the gemstones, white beryl, aquamarine, sapphire, and indigo in the form of star aqua. And first, it's coming just a little bit above the crown, and you'll feel it almost like an initial little wave starts to come, and you may feel it kind of hitting at the temple and preparing your system to release the tension that would allow this frequency to come in. And now placing it on the crown of the soul field, emanating to the crown of each of us. And you'll feel this washing. You'll feel it going through the head, down the spine. Waves of nourishment. These gems are purifiers and harmonizers of the nerves and the brain and the nervous system. And with your intention, you'll just allow your nervous system to deeply receive a sacred yes. And as this energy flows down into you, it helps you to even rest more in the earth. You feel that heaviness even more. No need to hold yourself up, just a deep surrender in. As your system begins to nourish, wherever the energy body is needing support, the flow will go. And we're going to call a flame in to assist as well. The flame of divine abundant flow, which is this beautiful metallic, it almost looks like metallic silver rain, liquid light, liquid metallic light. And we call forth this flame, the flame of divine abundant flow, to begin raining down in the soul field and into each of our bodies and energy systems, connecting us with our true abundant nature. washing away the fears of not enough or not okay, the scarcity energies, and amplifying our true nature. And so, same with intent, you let that flame into the places that are needing it most. And again, you may need a little adjustment through the neck. There's such a flow going through the brain and the nervous system. And as these energies wash through you, the earth absorbs anything that is washing off of you that you are not needing. This beautiful, deep in the earth energy, the earth is just both giving you what you need and absorbing whatever is detoxing from your system. Toxins can be mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical. And particularly today, neurological. As these divine energies, the flames, your filament, and the gemstones are ministering, we collectively intend to allow the distorted cultural mind and the misbalanced cultural nervous system to be tended so that we can be restored. Literally, that our brain is sublimated by soul, made more pure, more aligned, and by the chemicals in that messaging coming from earth, the gems and the flames. We let our minds be changed. We let our neurology be changed. We let the intellect be sublimated, purified, harmonized. And there's rejuvenative energy in this. Because when we commune with our truest soul frequencies, it's a restoration. And there's vibrancy in that and vitality in that. And so much more efficiency. We run so much more efficiently. And so the sacred yes is a yes to all of that. And you can literally feel the tailbone opening up. It has the capacity to plug into the nourishment of earth even more than it did when we began. And the root, you can feel the vibration at the root. It's not a bounce. It's like it has a like, woo, woo, woo kind of vibration, deep and wide and strong. While you continue to receive, I'm going to play a beautiful song by Ma Muse called God's Eyes.
If I could see it through God's eyes, the earth, the moon, the sun, the satellite, watching somewhere in the darkness, I would admire all I created, even the lines that separate. Oh, for I know there is forgiveness. If I could see it through God's eyes, would I judge or would I cry? Oh, would I love, love, love? May we find our way back to love. May we find our way back to love. If I could see it through God's eyes, stagnant water and power lines, oh, would I believe it? If I could see it through God's eyes, this land of broken rock, dams down to fire, would it breathe? May water find a way back to love. May water find a way back to love. Lose a dream, time into light, comes a vision through God's eyes. Safe passageways for all creatures who swim through sea and soar through sky. those with fur and those who slither by. Please hold this vision, I wanna believe it. May they find their way back to love. May they find their way back to love. May water find a way back to love. May we find a way back to love. Through the dreamtime into light comes a vision through God's eyes. Safe passageways for all creatures who swim through sea and saw through sky. Those with fur and those who slither by. Please hold this vision, I wanna believe it. May they find their way back to love. May water find her way back to love. May we find our way back to love.
Indeed, may we find our way. So inviting you as and if you are ready, to gently begin a transition, drink a little water. You could feel that was a lot of movement of energy, so give yourself hydration to help. And then let's open up a little space for your spiritual walk questions, a little something you'd like to share about your experience, etc. And I'm going to go ahead and leave the recording on. So if you do want to share, just be aware that the share will be on the recording. And the video is pinned though, so you don't have to worry about being on video, but your voice will be heard. You can just unmute when you're ready. Yeah.
What a beautiful reminder. It's so interesting where I'm in Southern California and we're having a Santa Ana today.
Mm.
And while we were going down into the earth and connecting up through the filament, all of this noise and this wind and this violence was happening on the outside. And it was just a reminder that if I can stay connected,
Mm-hmm.
I can feel supported with all that's going on in the world and my life. It was a very visceral experience.
Thank you so much for
Wonderful
sharing
reminder.
that. And what a beautiful teacher nature is. And she was such a part of what was coming in today. And I love that way it showed up for you. What else? And maybe when I say question, it would be helpful to say just like, maybe it's like a place where you're wanting guidance or some aspect of life where you're feeling stuck. Um, just kind of see, is there something? Register if it's coming up for you, it's probably there for others as well. And if you'd rather type in the chat, you don't want your voice on the recording, you can type in the chat. That's another option. Mm.
I found that there was direction to my energy field. I was able to kind of collect it and bring it up through my crown and down through my first chakra, or seventh,
Mm-hmm.
and give some direction to it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of gather it, feel
Mm-hmm.
centered in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting that you're bringing up the language of direction because it's also like when we're talking about structural energy, and this is part of this particular gemstone, is it really is working with it's a fluid structure, but it's working with structuring and organizing, directing. Yeah, beautiful. I'm feeling to speak a little bit about something. Maybe I'm feeling this as a not necessarily conscious question, but something in the field. But please, if you're here and you have a question, use the raise hand feature so I'll stop talking because I want to give you a chance to ask also. And if you don't know how to use the raise hand feature, go like this and I'll understand that you're raising your hand. I used the language in the meditation, sublimate the brain to the soul. And this is part of the energy coming for our next series. It's not yet cohering. I feel like there's something so much about nature, and we're moving toward the spring equinox, and we're going to meet after the equinox. There's something about like letting that all move. But I want to speak just a little bit about this language. That was a language that was given to me. It was just like downloaded into my consciousness. And when I said it out loud, I didn't even know what the word sublimate completely meant. It's like, that's what's being said, and I know that word, but I don't remember the definition. That's one of my, bigger GRE words. I don't know. And sublimate refers to like a chemical reaction where something is transformed into a more purified state. And so to sublimate the brain to soul or by soul is to allow the brain to be purified by that light, to be transmuted into a more holy, WHOL and HOLY, like both, a more holy, balanced system. We have such cultural value around intellect, and it takes center stage in our lives as a result of that. But we weren't meant to have intellect at the center. And it's why we have the kinds of anxiety and stress and imbalanced living that we have, is that we've put the intellect in the center where soul is actually meant to be. When we put soul in the center, it is this radiant energy that in and of itself creates a balancing and a harmonizing and a right usage of intellect. We know that if we don't take care of our body, we don't move it enough, and we don't feed it properly and give it enough fresh air and water and like that, that the body becomes less vibrant. And the same is true with the intellect. We exercise our intellect, becomes more vibrant. But these things are in service. They're here in service to soul. And soul has nourishment for these things that we cannot get anywhere else. And it is the essential nourishment. It's like without that, call it love, call it light, call it goddess, call it nature, call it God, call it Buddha, call it Christ, call it Kuan Yin, call it Mother Mary. You get my point. That has nourishment for us that we cannot get anywhere else. And our brain is actually designed to tune and receive there. And how much time do you spend in your week receiving from your brain, with your brain, from all kinds of other things? Social media, the news, your friends, your family, your coworkers, the internet, like input, 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 input from all these sources, but not the source. Like, how much time do you spend each day plugging in and receiving input from source? It's my challenge to you to start to think about that, to start to think about where is your intellect sourcing from? You have a direct channel. You don't need a book. You don't need a nervous, or excuse me, nervous, you do need a nervous, you don't need um, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? You don't need a prompt. You don't need someone to guide you there. Sometimes it helps, but it's woven into your fabric to directly plug there. And I'm seeing something in the chat I want to. Yes. Yes. May I read this? I'm hoping I can. Yes. Someone is saying, I think this relates to what you're saying about having intellect at the center rather than soul. Masculine over feminine, intellect over connection and emotion. I'm feeling sadness over the young men in my life who are A, acting out dominant-based masculinity, and B, privileged in ways that blind them to the struggles of women. I'm trying to understand why they activate my nervous system so deeply and leave me feeling unsafe and down. Yeah. We understand inherently in our biology when things are imbalanced. It's visceral. We know it. This is called embodied wisdom or embodied knowing. And as I read that, I feel the grief that's attached to that. Part of why we get triggered is that we do have to grieve. It's part of life. The places where we and those around us have moved out of integrity. And I don't mean integrity as a moral standard. I mean as what is integrous to our true nature, which is again an embodied experience, not a conceptual experience. As we've been talking about, the filament is that which connects us beyond the conceptual idea of divine to the isness. And this is because embodied knowledge from that source leads to integrous, wise action or non-action. And it doesn't always make cognitive sense to us. One of the things for us to notice is that when we have a big reaction to what's happening out there, it's often because it has something for us. So that could be, it's simply a reminder to center, like the wind outside was during the meditation for one of the women here today. Maybe it's because we have medicine for that. Maybe it's because there's some place inside of us that's seeking greater harmony, or some place inside of us that has given our power over to something outside instead of that sacred filament. Maybe it's because we have medicine. Did I say that? I might have said that. We have medicine. And so then we are meant to take a moment and bless and send goodness, send the deep, integrous nourishment. Mm-hmm. Thank you for bringing that. Yes, Tita, please.
There's something that I'm having a hard time fully knowing how to ask this, but there's something that happens throughout like my day, for example, where I can feel like connection landing or there's like a message that is to be received, but sometimes I don't know how to receive it. It's like I know I should be in stillness, I should just like, just tune into the filament, but at times it's like I feel like there could be more I could be doing like actively in that moment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love that you're bringing this because I think it was even woven in how you asked the question, I know I should. And that's where concept can sometimes interfere, right? There are many ways we receive. And I'm just going to name, like, sometimes you pick up a pen and you write. Sometimes you get on a call with a soul buddy and you just are like, something's coming through and I don't know, I just need to talk. Can I just talk? Sometimes we receive when we bring ourselves into the space of devotion through song or through other types of artistic expression or devotional expression. So sometimes it's stillness. I find that when I'm doing another thing that has some spaciousness, like I'm gardening, for example, there's a little spaciousness in that. There's not so much an intellectual activity, but it's physical. Sometimes it happens for people in driving, where there's like openness and we can receive in those spaces. Sometimes we can feel it, and it's like we're looking for a message that has words, and it's simply an energy that will later on become words if words are needed. Because our connection to the sacred is beyond conceptual, and we often put it through like the lens of if my intellect doesn't grok it, understand it, be able to articulate it, la la la, it's not real. Or I'm not getting it or getting what I need. So when you can feel there's something, whatever you're doing, just intend to open. And if you feel like there's something more, just ask, what do I need to open to this? What is needed? And it may be go for a walk, and it may be sit and meditate, and it may be something you would not have thought of, like go make lunch, right? Because spirit is woven through all of it. Is this helpful, Tita? Did this touch into what you were needing? Okay. All right. All right, loves. We are going to officially come to the closing of our soul field today. And before we do, Sandy's going to read our announcements.
We are so grateful for your amplification of our collective soul field. Thank you for being with us. You can follow us on our website at soulfield.org. And 1 second, sorry about that. Had a little bit of a problem with my computer. But we're so grateful to that you have chosen to spend a bit of your precious life and sacred presence with us in the soul field. And if you'd like more information, transformational support, links to our YouTube collections, to have a soul field events populate into your calendar, or to share soul field with like-minded beings, you can go to soulfield.org. And without your donation and tithing generously, Soulfield would simply not be possible. Deep vows to all of those who continue to make Soulfield a regular part of your spiritual gift giving. We are thrilled to have many of you joining us in the Eternal Now via recording. Please remember to like and comment our videos and follow us on YouTube. Thank you in advance for helping us find others. Our next live meditation is Wednesday, May 18th at 5:10 p.m. And our next Soulfield experience is going to be on the 5th Sunday of this month, which is on March 29th at 11 a.m. instead of the 22nd. Both are Pacific time via Zoom.
Thank you, Sandy. Yes. So, without further ado, we'll speak our closing prayer. We are deeply grateful to have experienced miraculous communion with our holy wholeness in the soul field. We wholeheartedly receive the upliftment of one another's communion and blessed soul light. As we close this formal gathering, we each in our own way will continue dwelling in the soul field and supporting our collective evolution. With deep gratitude, we thank one another and all our angels, guides, and guardians. Remembering as we minister to ourselves, we uplift one another. We encourage the magic we've co-created to ripple out to all our relations for the benefit of all beings.
Estamos profundamente agradecidos de haber vivenciado esta comunión de nuestros seres sagrados en el campo del alma. De todo corazón recibimos la elevación del sacramento de cada uno de nosotros y de nuestra bendición, luz del alma. Al culminar esta congregación, cada uno de nosotros, de manera propia, continuaremos conviviendo en el campo del alma y apoyando nuestra evolución colectiva. Con profunda gratitud, agradecemos el uno al otro y a nuestros ancestros, ángeles, guías y guardianes de luz, recordando que cuando nos amamos a nosotros mismos, amamos y elevamos al prójimo, alentando la magia que acabamos de co-crear para que se expanda a nuestras comunidades, de manera que todos los seres se beneficien.
Such a blessing and a joy to have been with you all today. I'll look forward to seeing you at the fifth Sunday this month on the 29th instead of the 22nd. Bye for now.